I am Michael Sachs. I specialize in Southern California investment real estate. A question that I hear on a regular basis is, how's the market? What's going on in the market? And a very commonly understood value indicator for us to discuss would be cost per foot. Other value indicators include cost per unit, GRM, cap rate, but today I want to talk about cost per foot. And I pulled data from April 1st, 2020 through the end of the year and looked at 156 transactions and averaged it all out for all the different indicators. There were still some very remarkable sales that sold at a very high price, so there's still an appetite for those higher values. There was a few properties that sold for sort of pandemic pricing. There was some good values, and then there was a large volume of sales this year that were in that average range. So this year what we saw is an average price per foot of $409 and an average price per unit, so per housing unit, whether it's a single family home or a large scale apartment complex of maybe 20 units or so. We have $364,000 per unit on average. Just to go a little deeper, we also saw 16.5 for the average gross rent multiple, or GRM, and right at 4% cap rates for the average sale in Orange County. If you look at those figures, based on historical data and nationwide data, this is still expensive real estate. Orange County held very high values even through a pandemic. And then we can look at the high and low and also see the full spectrum of it. The high sale was a property in Newport Beach. It's 900 East Oceanfront, 6-unit apartment building. You know, unsurprisingly, the high sale is, of course, on the beach. It's all 2-bedroom units, so great unit mix. And that sold for $1,136 per square foot. So a very high value. Also the highest per unit sale for the year at $1.2 million per unit. Remarkable sale there. The average sale was, in my opinion, I think when you look at Orange County and you want to pull sort of an average perspective of the market, I think the city of Orange is a great place to look, because it not only is it centrally located in the county, but it also benefits from its surrounding cities. And some of the surrounding cities are the cities that make up the attractions of Orange County, whether it be Disneyland and the stadiums in Anaheim, or Irvine and this master plan city that it is, with great, employment opportunities and shopping and entertainment, or the coastal cities. Orange is right in the center of it all, and but it's still, it's not crazy expensive and it's not cheap. So this property that I want to use as an example is a fourplex. It's 360 North Oak Street. And this property sold for $350,000 a door, $419 per square foot. It was on the market for just over 3 months. They were asking $1.4 million. They ended up coming down a little over $50,000 on the price to get the sale done, and it sold for $1,345,000. So that's a really good example for the average sale this year. If you want to see the low end, I think one of the noteworthy sales was a property that's in Garden Grove. It was a 10-unit building with all 1-bedroom units. A little less attractive being all ones, but nonetheless, it sold for $220,000 a door and $297 per foot. That property sold on April 24th, so right when the pandemic hit. Probably some fear involved on the seller's end. I'm not entirely sure what their story is or why they sold it, but still an interesting comp and data point to look at. $220 a door for apartments in Orange County is no doubt a noteworthy sale. And then there's also the off-market transactions that happen, and those are typically the better values that we see. Sometimes they're the highest values we see, but there's a property that I think is a pretty good image of what we see in the off-market sales this year. There's a property that sold in Tustin. It's a 16-unit building on San Juan Street, and the purchase price came in at $249,000 per door. So more than $100,000 difference from the average sale price. Tustin being more an above average location, and $392 for the price per foot. This is a great building. It had 3, 2, and 1 bedroom units. So kudos to those guys for finding a nice value off market. And it's also just great to see really high valued sales like we saw in the Newport Beach market and other high-end markets. There's still 1031 exchange money coming into the market, and we're seeing properties get multiple offers, and it's just been an interesting time. We've had a larger spectrum, I would say, in terms of value and value indicators and people selling or holding for different reasons. So very interesting time. I'd love to talk to you about the market. If you have a property you're looking at, or maybe it's your own property where you want to talk about the value indicators, I welcome that phone call. And my number is 949-887-9971. Again, my name is Michael Sachs, and I work in Southern California investment real estate. Thanks for tuning in.